All right. Welcome back, everybody. It's Saturday. So excited and honored to be part of your journey as you're getting ready to build your six-figure coaching business. I'm honored by your time investment, seeing some of your faces again and again and again. And more than that, I'm honored by your belief in yourself. Myself and my team, we have loved watching you guys in the group, in the Facebook group, in the Zoom room. We're streaming to a couple different places. We love feeling your energy, and we are so excited for you to soar. So as you're coming in today, and we are getting my poofy sleeves rolled up for a little Q&A rapid fire action, drop into the chat, say hello. What are you up to this weekend? Besides thinking about your niche 24/7, besides attending this training? I'd love to hear how you guys are spending your weekend. Quick thing, real quick, before we get started, as you guys are sharing what you're up to this weekend, so we can see who's joining us. Last night, we did something a little special. I don't know who of you here joined us live last night, but we did something special where anyone who booked a discovery call while on the session, we are sending them a very special training resource on how to turn your ideal client avatar surveys into actual clients. Okay. And that is something very special. I'm already having you guys do ideal client avatar surveys. You guys learned all about that on day 2, market validation. I talked to you about how you can run out ideal client avatar surveys. I gave you scripts. I told you how to find people. So the next step to that, a very special gift I want to give to those of you who are booking a discovery call, is the gift of a resource I built on how you can turn your ideal client avatar surveys into actual clients. So I'm going to be totally wild. Be wild. It's the sleeves. It's the weekend. Getting wild. If you book a discovery call today, so I'm going to extend this till today. If you book your discovery call today, so Tabitha and Heather, if you could drop the link for people to book their discovery call directly into the chat. If you book your discovery call today, we will extend this special resource to you, but you must book the call today. While you're hearing the words come out of my mouth, I want to extend this to you guys while you're watching the training. Click the link. Tabitha and Heather are going to share a link that's going to lead you directly to book your calls. Arvis booked his or hers. So we'll send your resource to you, Arvis, for sure. So Tabitha just dropped the link for people to book their call. Heather's dropping the link. Book it today so we can be sure to put you on our list to send you this resource after the boot camp. You will not find this special training resource on how to turn your ideal client avatar surveys into clients anywhere else. This is a special resource I drew up for you guys because I knew you were already getting into the weeds with ideal client avatar surveys. And I thought, you know, they can get some clients out of this real quick. And this is something that's worked for my own clients. So let us know if you booked your call today. Arvis did. Anybody else booking their call today, let us know, and we'll be sure to send you that resource. Everybody who booked a discovery call is also in the running for the Fast Acting Six-Figure Coach Academy Bootcamp bonus bundle. I want to congratulate Tracy, Emily, Johnny, Aaron, Tiffany, Betsy, Natasha, Kersey, Crystal, Melissa, Janice, Arvis, Mike, and we've got some more coming in through the email booking their discovery calls. Y'all are in the running, baby, for the Bootcamp bonus bundle. Tabitha and Heather, if you could drop the information page for the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy into the chat for people to have on hand in case they want to take a look. If you book your discovery call and join the Academy by Sunday, last day of boot camp, you will have access to the Fast Acting Bootcamp bonus bundle, up to $7,600 worth of bonuses. So bonus 1 is a cash bonus, $1,000 to $2,000 off. Bonus 2 is the juicy one. This is the one that goes every time, every single time. So if you're on the fence, just make sure you're cognizant that these, you know, the more we get closer to go time, the quicker these go. Only the first 5 people will get a private 60-minute session with me, where I will develop a customized strategy on where I want you to focus first in order to hit your 6-figure mark. You'll also get a private 60-minute deep dive strategy session with our social selling expert, who will teach you how to effectively outreach to your cold prospects, which will lead to sales. So she's literally going to help you customize your outreach to your niche. That I can't even tell you guys how special that is to have a full hour with someone who's an expert at that. So you will only get these if you've got to be the first 5 people to book the call and join the program. So these are still in the running, but they are going fast. They are going fast. Bonus 3, full and customized social media profile audit. So you can attract more clients. We're going to optimize them. Bonus 4, you get a coach in your pocket. So a lot of people that join programs, they join and then they feel kind of lost and they're like, I just joined this thing. Now, what do I go first? How do I get a hold of people? You have 30-day Voxer access to me. It's like a walkie-talkie, coach in your pocket. You can ask me any questions. You can send me audio messages and you can receive any feedback and direction. And then bonus 5, if you pay in full, you get a ticket to a virtual half-a-day live cash injection workshop with me, which everybody loves for a fast ROI. So if you are on the fence, book the call, baby. Book the call so that we can make sure that we can include you in these bonuses. Wait a minute, Betsy. Betsy just joined the Academy. Hey, see things happening while I'm here on the call. Betsy, welcome to the Academy, Betsy. You have such great energy. You are so engaged. You are definitely a favorite, and we are so excited to hit the ground working with you, Betsy. So congrats on joining. I knew we had some people joining, but it's nice to hear the actual announcements while I'm live on the call. So congrats. Now, Betsy, you're going to get the first 5 people only. And I know there's a couple other that are coming through today. Betsy's going to be one of those getting those first 5 bonuses. So important. You don't want to miss those. So Betsy, you and me, gal, we're going to hop onto a 60-minute strategy call next week. Hit the ground running. All right, rock star. Ooh, that gave me chills. So excited for you, Betsy. Welcome. Again, still got to, I'll tell you guys when we're out, but this is not, it's go time. There's 2 days left here. So if you haven't booked your discovery call yet, now's the time. Discovery calls. And hopefully Betsy can attest to this too, or whoever else has done discovery call with us. It's a no pressure exploratory call. We're not, join our program. It's not like that. We're trying to get to know each other. We're trying to learn your goals. It's your chance to ask us questions. It's our chance to see if we're a fit, right? That's what a discovery session is. So very exciting. And then again, as long as you book your call, while you're hearing the words coming out of my mouth, we will send you that special resource on how to turn ICA surveys into clients. So let us know if you book your call today so we can send you that resource. Okay, guys, today's session, I want to keep you focused, keep you having fun, keep you loving the journey. Get ready to take some notes. Some of our best learnings come from other people's questions, interestingly, which is kind of the beauty of a group program. Sometimes you show up and you're like, I don't know what I have to offer today. And sometimes you get these nuggets from other people. Today, I'm doing Q&As on anything and everything. And I'm going rapid fire. So I drank a lot of water and I had a little coffee before this. And I even had a little coffee right here. Should have brought a straw so my lipstick didn't get wild. Ooh, I have a straw. Women with lipstick, what can we say? That looks silly though, using this coffee with a straw, but it works. I got to keep caffeinated because we're going rapid fire Q&A on anything and everything. Okay, I'm going to answer as many questions as I can without keeping you here for too long so you can get out and enjoy the beautiful Saturday wherever you are. I've been receiving your emails, DMs, comments. People are commenting in the Zoom room. People are commenting in the Facebook group. Tabitha has gathered up, to the best of her knowledge, all the questions, and Tabitha gave those to me on a list. So based on the list Tabitha gave me, gathering all your questions, that's where I'm going to start, is with Tabitha's list. I'm going to start there. Okay. Let me tell you how this is going to work. We're going to start there. Okay. And again, Tabitha has been gathering up these questions. So I'm going to start with her list. After we get done with her list, I'm going to move to the chat here of my people who actually showed up live. So if you're here live, and you have a question on anything, whether it's your niche, your messaging, your coaching business in general, the academy, I don't care, my cat's names, ask the question now, drop it into the chat, And after I go through Tabitha's list, I will then make my way over to this chat so that by the time we're done, I've answered everyone's questions. If by some wild chance, even after all this, I still missed one of your questions, maybe in the Facebook group, maybe you dropped something and we missed it. My Saturday, I'm going to enjoy a little sun, go to my favorite coffee shop with my man. But then I'm going to come back and get my hands dirty in the Facebook group. I give it one final go through to make sure every person that messaged me, I have answered everything. So I will be doing a final kind of comb through of the Facebook group and my DMs. But for those of you here live, please drop your questions and I'll move to your questions after I go through Tabitha's list. Okay, great. So Tanisha does have a wonderful question. Great. Tanisha, I'll come back to your question for sure. Oh, Betsy, I just love you, girl. I just love you, girl. She says, for what it's worth, everyone, I vetted so many companies and had so many discovery calls. This is by far the best. It gives me chills. And you're making my eyes water on a Saturday, darn it. Didn't think I was going to, but you know what? That is really important. That's also the way I've made decisions in the past of business coaches and programs. I like to actually attach myself to other people who've done a lot of vetting that I trust. I'm like, oh, they did all the vetting. Let me see who they're looking at. So Betsy did the hard work for y'all. That's awesome, Betsy. Erin says, yes, I know Erin's friend. I know exactly who you're talking about, Erin. Lovely Lakin has a friend in the academy and she's killing it with starting her business. And she's killing it. She's one of our superstars. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, Erin. Yeah, we have a lot of fun in the academy. Fun and success, those two things together. All right, let's dive in to your questions and waste not a second more time. What am I going to do? I'm going to share my questions screen. This is a screen with people's questions. I'm going to try to make it bigger so that you can see what the questions are. And then I'm going to give you my answer. If I am answering your question, after I give you my answer, you can feel free, if you're here live, to either respond in the chat, if that's your vibe, you can tell me, hey, sounds good, or hey, I got another question. Or if it's your question, after I'm done giving you your answer, you can come off mute. If you need further details, okay? So let me hit share screen, and we're gonna hit the ground running. And as we're going, I encourage you to keep asking questions. And Tabitha, because I know a couple people joined late, and Heather, if you could one more time drop the link to the program and the link for people to book discovery calls, because I saw a couple people coming in late. Those who just came in, be sure you're booking your call today, not only to be eligible for the bonuses, but so we can send you the free resource on how to turn ICA surveys into clients, into sales. You only get that resource if you book a discovery call today. All right, so we're gonna start with our gal, Betsy. Our gal. So she asked, should we create a Google Doc with competitors, links to their social media, numbers of followers, key comments, etc.? Good question, Betsy. This is why I love you, Betsy. Always thinking. She's like, it's like a game of chess. She's always thinking a couple steps ahead. So here's what I would say, Betsy. I'm going to give you the answer, and then I'm going to come back to the chat, or you can come off mute if you need further clarification. Here's what I would say. It depends. What are you creating the sheet for? What is the purpose of the sheet? For now, knowing what I know, Betsy, I would just have you stick to the activities we've given you to do in the bootcamp homework, which there have been quite a bit of activities. That's enough for now. So what I want you to do is, maybe that spreadsheet should be more about, let me back up. Yes, I want you all to have a list of competitors. Yes, you should, right? And there's something we'll do with that later. But for now, I want to see your list, not just competitors. I want to see your list including YouTube channels on your niche, blogs on your niche, Facebook groups where your niche hang out, Amazon books on your niche. That's what I'm looking for now, along with maybe in the next column are the comments from your ideal client avatars that watched the YouTube video on your niche, that watched the blog or that read the blog. that joined the Facebook group. That's what I want you gathering now. Okay. Gathering comments from each of those resources to help you craft your niche statement. Let's start there before we go wild with collecting other data. Now, as for the other details you mentioned, yes, I do want you all to have a list of competitors for sure. I would say there's no need to track those stats yet, unless you have a very specific purpose to do so now. I mean, I want to keep you focused on activities that, horse blinders, get rid of the shiny object syndrome. Because I know it's easy to go down a rabbit hole when you start doing competitor research. It's so easy. So I would just say, let's just start with, what I just gave you. Now, that being said, in the Academy, in module 1, Betsy, and we'll talk about this on our kickoff call since you're one of Bootcamp bonus people, I'm going to be giving you a resource I built, and it is called a competition matrix. So Betsy, you can just wait for that. I'm going to give you that resource in the Academy. You'll be able to fill it out to compare yourself to your competitors. So I will want you to identify 10 competitors, but don't worry about filling out the stats you shared. Fill it out according to the matrix that I give you. The purpose of the resource I'm about to give you in the Academy, this competition matrix, is a couple things. One is helping you build out a standout coaching package and signature method. 2, it's to get ideas of what is in the market out there for lead magnets. But most importantly, 3, it's to help you figure out how to position yourself amongst your competitors. We have to figure out what is Betsy's secret sauce versus your competitors. And what does your coaching package offer that theirs doesn't? We're positioning you. So rest assured, Mod 1 of the Academy, got you covered, girl. I'm going to pause here because I think you're here. Betsy says, it's always easy for me to go down rabbit holes. Yeah, all of us. Listen, you're not alone. That's why all of us, including me, I have coaches, I have accountability coaches. It's very easy. And also coaches, y'all, we're curious. That's a blessing and a curse, right? We're like, oh, look at that. Look at that. And then we sabotage ourselves because we're not doing the things that we need to do to see ROI. That's why I'm here, to keep you focused, right? So you're not alone, Betsy. Betsy, does that answer your question? Feel free to drop into the chat or come off mute. Yeah, good. All right, easy enough, easy breezy. On to the next question. Tanisha, and I know you might have dropped something in the chat as well. So I'll circle back to the chat, but let me start with what, this is something, again, this was a question you asked at one point. I don't know if it was in a Zoom chat. Tabitha grabbed this for me. So your question originally, and I know you may have a follow-up question. We'll start with this one. And also, by the way, some of these questions may help others too, because you guys are asking some really good questions. Let's see if I can make this bigger. 150 is 200 too wild? No, that's good. How do I narrow down the problem to solve or research? The problems are so broad for engaged and married couples. How do I narrow it down? Intimacy, communication, connection. They can all have barriers to building relationships, making them stronger and helping save them from possible divorce or breakup. So good, so good. So here's my answer. Use your ideal client avatar survey. Let's start there. Right? The answers are going to come from your ideal client avatar surveys. Let's start there. You're going to want to have a first draft. I want you guys to have a first draft so you're kind of getting the lay of the land. But just remember, you're going to circle back to your first draft after you're done with your ideal client avatar statements. So when you're doing your ideal client avatar surveys, we're asking your people, what are the urgent problems going on in your marriage? Now, let's say, for example, what you listed is what they told you. Maybe this is exactly what they told you. You know what, Tanisha? It's intimacy. It's communication. It's connection. And I don't want to have to go through a divorce. Maybe that's what they've already told you, right? So if that's the case, you're golden. And we'll talk about how to turn that into a niche statement in a second. So again, in your ICA surveys, we want to get from your people, what are the urgent problems in your marriage that you want to solve, that you'd pay anything to have help solving? You need to get that from them. That's how I cross-check, are we on the right track? I'm looking at what they say. 2, you're going to ask them, okay, that's your urgent problem. Why is it important for you to solve that? And it sounds like potentially, right, they might tell you, I want to have a stronger relationship and I don't want to go through divorce. So it sounds like you're on the right track. Then maybe you can have something like this. Let me just grab from my other sheet here. The sheet. I want to grab this for you. I'll put it in the chat too. So what about this? Something like this, Tanisha. I help insert something more specific for the who, because we don't want to just say married couples. I know you said engaged and married, but if I were you, I'd go after one or the other. From a marketing standpoint, I'd probably go after married. But I wouldn't just say married couples. That's too broad. So we need to go back to day 3, where I talked about all the ways you could qualify the who, the qualifiers, and give me something more specific. What types of married couples are they? Give me something more. So I help fill in the blank, something more specific. Married couples improve their intimacy, communication, and connection, so they fall back in love with each other instead of becoming another divorce statistic. How about that? How about that? Let me drop that in the chat too, by the way. Boom. Enter. Tanisha, you can come off mute and let me know what you think.
I think that's great. I think with my client avatars, what they've been doing, it's such a personal issue, right? They're marital problems. So they don't really want to get specific. They're very general with communication, or I don't want to be divorced, or lacks intimacy, or it's very general and broad. And the more I ask them, then I feel like I'm interrogating them or something. So it is private. And so I did add hurting. I help hurting engaged and married couples, which is what I added. I changed it and added it to the chat today. I help hurting and engaged married couples with communication barriers that destroy relationships by encouraging and equipping them with self-awareness strategies, coping skills, and evidence-based practices to sustain their relationship.
I'm going through the chat. Did you drop that in the chat somewhere too?
Yeah,
I think you did.
but then I feel like it's wordy, it's too long, it's hurting makes it more specific, but like you said, I guess I have to do one or the other, engaged or married. And then also, I don't want to leave anybody out. And I think that's what makes it broad in my mind as well.
I know. We're coaches. We want to help everyone. It's a blessing and a curse, because from a marketing standpoint, we want to help everyone, but it actually hurts us in terms of attracting clients to us by being too broad. So yeah, and here's a reminder. You'll still get people that are like, listen, Tanisha, I'm not married yet. We're engaged, but I'm kind of worried. And I'd like some coaching before we go into the marriage. You'll still work with those couples. It's okay. We just want to be really specific with the marketing so that the copy is on point and attracting these people to you, so that it's not so broad that you're struggling to get people seeking you out. So just don't worry. You'll still have all different types of people. I'm coming back here to, I posted in the homework thread, I help hurting engaged and married couples. So yeah, I would just go with one or the other. And even more than hurting, like age bracket, do they have kids? Are they working? Are they in high pressure jobs where, like, I know for myself, right? Like, when think back to my corporate days when I was in some high pressure jobs and it was just so stressful, and I'd come home and it's like you barely have anything left in you for your relationship. So I would get a little more specific than hurting. It's going to make it easier for you to do outreach, reduce relational conflicts, heal and communicate effectively by teaching them barriers to communication and coping strategies and evidence-based practices to help them. Yeah, it's long. So, but it's a good draft. Yeah. It's a good draft. So your next steps are going to be step 1, get more specific with your who, and don't worry, you'll still attract the right people to you. Step 2, once we get at least 5 ICA surveys back, I want you to cross-check And this is something I do in the academy. I give my academy members, it's called an ICA trend worksheet, where it helps you gather all of the answers from your surveys into one trend worksheet. It compiles the trends. So once you get those back, you're going to cross-check them for trends of words and phrases that indicated pain problem or outcome dream. And that's how we're going to cut. Step 3 is you're going to take that and you're going to cut the long version so that you're really only using the most trending words and phrases that they used in explaining to you the problems they were going through. Now, are you still going to do all this? Are you going to teach them barriers, communication, coping strategies, evidence-based practices? Yes, you're going to do all of that. But from a marketing standpoint, yeah, I would just something a little more snippy to the point here, right? Like you don't have to necessarily say reduce relationship, conflicts. I think there's just, some words we could cut, just helping them improve communication, improve intimacy, improve connection. They don't necessarily need to hear the whole, like, I'm going to teach you barriers to blah, 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 coping strategies. They just need to know you're going to help me with this pain, my intimacy, my communication, my connection. That's all they need to know. So you're on the right track. You've got it. I think the who is the only thing we're missing. And then, if you're going with this long version versus this one here, let's do some cutting.
Okay.
Questions?
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, great job. Great job. Thanks so much, Tanisha. Let's move on to, we've got some more niche statements here for review. Noel says, I coach millennials. And again, I am going through all of these because I think, some of you have similar niche statements, which by the way is good. You guys know, I tell you, competitors are good. So I am going through all of these people that ask questions because I think it will help all of you to hear my answers. Even if you're like, this isn't my question. I promise you, my feedback on each person you'll be able to pick nuggets up from that to help you. So Noel says, I coach millennials and Gen Xers recovering from overworking and burnout so they can recover and create a life they enjoy inside and outside of work. So kind of similar to what I talked about with Tanisha. I know you guys are scared. I get it. I mean, I truly get it. It's scary to narrow down. It's like, I'm going to miss somebody. But I'm telling you, it's so hard it feels the opposite as it would be. The more you narrow down, the more clients you get, which feels wild. But it goes back to the idea that I want you to become the #1 go-to expert authority in this space. If you're too broad, it's very challenging to do that because you're up against so many people who are also broad. So for that reason, I would choose one age group, millennials or Gen Xers. Now, will you still make an exception if somebody reaches out to you and says, I'm a Gen Xer? Of course, if they align with you, if what they want to solve is what you teach, right? But from a marketing standpoint, I'd pick one or the other age group, millennials or Gen Xers. Again, talking about the who here, let's talk about the who. I'd add on an industry that deals with a lot of burnout. I think that's a great way to go. And by the way, I want you guys thinking ahead like chess. At some point, you're going to need to get onto social media. Let's just make believe you're going to do LinkedIn. And you're going to need to get on that platform and look at all these people, billions of people on that platform, and decide, who do I outreach to? So it would behoove you, especially with your niche, to think about what are some of the industries out there that are already dealing with a lot of burnout? What are some of the industries out there already dealing with a lot of burnout? That's going to help you outreach so much more. When you send a connection request to someone, and then they see you help people in their industry, they're like, oh, I get why she's reaching out to me versus why me? What does she want with me, right? So I'd make a list of industries dealing with a lot of burnout. I would also think about industries from your own past. You've obviously gone through this. You could also think about departments that deal with a lot of burnout, right? I know I have a client in the academy who helps IT departments, people in IT, because they are constantly in burnout mode. They're, 24/7 having to fix the IT department. And that's also her background. So I'd go with either an industry or a department that deals with a lot of burnout, maybe one from your past. maybe even in addition to the industry or department, you could even go for a job title range. So you attract the right people. Again, optional. You know, when I was a career coach, I used to say, I help unfulfilled corporate director to VP level women. And it was so easy for me to outreach because they're like, oh, you were made for me. I'm a corporate director woman who's unfulfilled. So again, you could think about job ranges, job title ranges. And next, I want you to be thinking about what is the action you're helping them take to avoid burnout? What is the action you're helping them take to avoid burnout, right? They're recovering from it, but what are you doing to help them recover from it? So my example for Noelle, let's see here. My notes is something like, this is just an example. I just want you to see a sample. I'm not saying you have to do this. It's a sample. I coach millennial women in tech, which we know, by the way, people in tech, even without putting job titles in there, the tech industry, I mean, I lived in San Francisco for quite some time. You know, they tend to be at a higher salary rate in general, regardless of the job title. I coach millennial women in tech on the verge of burnout. You know, it's a stressful place, to learn how to set boundaries, time manage, and prioritize themselves. That's the action you help them take so that they can enjoy more downtime without putting their job at risk. Because that's the fear, right? In our jobs, when we're feeling burnt out and people are saying, just leave early. Don't just do yoga. Have more me time. You're like, yo, I'm going to get fired if I don't finish this project that's taking me till midnight. So that's what people really want. If you can ever add to your niche statement so that you can enjoy this without the thing they fear, that's always a juicy way to message yourself, because that's the fear, right? If I don't do and stay here till midnight and finish this project, I'm putting my job at risk. But you know what? If they learned how to set boundaries, time manage, maybe speak up to their bosses, right? Communicate with their bosses, prioritize themselves, they could be out of that situation. They could have more downtime without putting their job at risk. So just a sample. Not sure if Noelle is here. Noelle's here. Noelle, do you have questions?
Yep. No, it completely makes sense, because it is will I lose my job if I work less?
That's it, isn't it? I went through the same thing. Yeah. So I think especially for you, this kind of, so that you can enjoy this without that, that's the secret sauce right there. And, you know, again, I'm making this up, Noelle. I don't know exactly what you do to help people with burnout, but, you know, you can edit this as needed. Questions?
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Let me put this in the chat for you too. Boom.
Thank you.
You got it. Okay, Maria makes me think of the West Side Story. I love that movie and that play. Women in traditional male dominant fields let go of their stress, hassle, and masculinity so they can increase their work-life balance, find their inner radiance, and claim their femininity so that they can live their dream love life. And then I love you so much, Maria, for the self-awareness, saying LOL, too cute or coachy. So love you for that, Maria. She's already coaching herself. She's like, I'm a little cute and coachy here. So I like that. And then you gave me kind of an updated draft here. I help stressed, resentful, feminist, middle-aged professional women regain the spark and joy in their romantic relationships so that they avoid divorce, affairs, or a sexless life. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we've dropped the cute and coachy. Are you going to help them find inner radiance? Yes. Are you going to help them claim their femininity? Yes. Are you going to give them their dream love life? Yes. That's all going to go into your signature methodology, right? But our marketing statement, yes, you're getting on point here. So let's break this down for a second here. Let's break it down. Let's talk through it. The first thing, right, that I'm thinking, especially when I read this guy, is I'm thinking about these women in traditional male dominant fields. I'm thinking about what is the number one urgent problem for women in traditional male dominant fields. And in my mind, when I read that I'm thinking to myself, is there a number one urgent problem to release stress, hassle, and masculinity increase work-life balance, find inner radiance, and claim femininity for a dream love life? Or in my mind, I'm thinking, is their number one urgent problem, if you go that route up there, to be heard, right? In a male dominant workforce, just to be heard, to be seen, to be taken seriously, to get a seat at the table, to not get passed down for promotions. So in my mind, that's where I was going mentally when I read this. I was like, oh, they're not being seen, heard. They don't have a seat at the table. They're getting passed down for promotions, you know, et cetera. Now, that being said, you may not want to go that route with your coaching topics. You're like, Betty, I don't want to focus on that. I'm not trying to coach people on promotions. I'm trying to coach them on femininity, right? So if you don't want to go that route, I do love your second version in both the who and the what you help them do. I do love your second version. I think you're super, super close here. I thought of another way. So this is kind of an option 2, a way that you could kind of message this. Let's grab this guy, and then I'll drop it in the chat. Maria. And by the way, Tabitha and Heather, if I'm talking to people who aren't here live, would you do me the honor of DMing them and making sure they're either hop on or, you know, get them the replay. And for the rest of you live, thank you for joining live. And I hope that, again, I really feel like all the feedback I'm giving every person is going to even help you with your own niche statement. So here's like an idea for Maria. So she's got that second version, which I do like better. So I could also imagine something like this on your website. So again, I'm imagining, you know, here's my website, right? Here I am. I help you with what statement? I'm imagining something like this on the homepage of your website above the fold. Are you a middle-aged professional woman coming home from work in a traditionally male-dominant field or a corporate leadership role? And now here's the key. Is the stress from your work trickling down into your marriage? That's the key. So I'm kind of imagining that as your opening statement on your homepage. Are you a middle-aged professional woman coming home from work? Maybe I should say from, in a traditionally male-dominant field or corporate leadership role. Is the stress from your work trickling down into your marriage? And then underneath that, let me help you regain the spark in your marriage and drop the resentment so you can avoid divorce, affairs, or a sexless life. You know, if this is what your people are telling you in your ideal client avatar surveys, if they're like, listen, I'm in this really stressful job, I'm afraid we're going to get divorced. I'm afraid he's going to have an affair, or I'm going to have an affair. We have a sexless life. So if this is what they're telling you, then by all means, boom, there it goes. So I think you're close here. And I think, you know, this is another way that you can angle it. You know, it's just this idea that, and again, I'm thinking for myself, even in a corporate job, there is a lot of masculine energy when you're in a high demand corporate job, you know, executive role. It's a lot of masculine energy, and you've got to be in that space all day. And then you come home and like, now you're supposed to like, woo, be this feminine, like, oh, hi, honey, you know, it's tough to make that transition. So I'm following what you're doing here. So again, we would have to test this statement is using the words from your ideal client avatar surveys, but that is just a version. Maria, and I'm going to put it in the chat as well. But again, your second version is pretty good. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling down to see if Maria is with us or if Maria will be catching the replay. So Maria, if you're here, I don't see you in Zoom at least. Either you're in the Facebook group or you're catching the replay. And Heather, if she's in the Facebook group, if you could just let us know if she's got everything she needs here. Great job, Maria. Amity. Professional healthcare workers who are anxious and want to change their limiting beliefs through rapid, here, let's enter this down because there's more to it. Amity. Professional healthcare workers who are anxious and want to change their limiting beliefs through rapid reprogramming. Ooh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So here's my feedback here. typically, you know, here I kind of allowed the word professional only because, I mean, I guess I could have even dropped it here because she's talking about a male dominant field or a corporate leadership role. That's very specific. That's better than professional. I try to veer clear of professional as long as you have something in there that's more specific. So for healthcare workers, I want to know more about what does professional mean for healthcare workers? What kind of healthcare workers are not professional? So I just want more input there. So the question is, can you make the type of healthcare workers that you help more specific than professional? Tell me more about maybe their job title range, their department, you know, women, are they moms, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's see if we can get a little bit more specific with the types of healthcare workers. Let's start there. I'd love to see 2 more details. And then of course, your ideal client avatar surveys and your market research, we still need to uncover what is the number urgent problem they are dealing with. You shared that they're anxious. So I want to know, what are they anxious about? You shared they have limiting beliefs, but I want to know, what are their limiting beliefs about? And we definitely don't want to use the phrase limiting beliefs in marketing because civilians, people who are not coaches, don't typically understand what a limiting belief is yet. So, you know, again, just to give you kind of some ideas here that you know, and again, you guys, this isn't like set in stone, right? We're playing here. We're playing in the sandbox. We're brainstorming. And this can only have a final bow tied on it after you run your ideal client avatar surveys. Okay. So I said here something like, I help fill in the blank, what type of healthcare workers, not, you know, give me more details, in high stress jobs. And you can even say in high stress jobs like blank, blank, or blank. You can even say, these are the types of high stress jobs. I help them avoid burnout and anxiety through the magic of rapid reprogramming. Now, nobody knows what that means. However, there's a way around that if you want to include that in your statement, because it is kind of like, it's kind of intriguing. So what you could do, if you want a statement like this, where people are like, ooh, I wonder what this is. She's going to help me avoid burnout and anxiety. Ooh, what's this rapid reprogramming? You could add 3 phrases here for some kind of a mantra. So this would essentially take the part of your so that statement. For example, so that what, right? What, why? So your mantra, your 3 phrases for a mantra that might go directly underneath your statement could say something like, learn to love your job in healthcare again. I think a lot of people get into healthcare just like people get into anything. They want to serve. They want to save lives, right? It's a big deal to go that route. So when they first get into it, it's like, wow, you know, I'm saving lives. I'm doing all this. So learn to love your job in healthcare again. No more stress. Feel at peace. I'm making this up, but when you're running your ideal client avatar surveys, you ask them why. Why is it so important that you avoid burnout and anxiety? And whatever they tell you the why is, that's your little mantra. So you can give them the I help who with what, and then you can give them your mantra. I'm going to put this in the chat so that you have it in the chat. And then Amity, if you are here, let me know, is this helpful? And do you have any follow-up questions? See, I'm scrolling. Amity. Okay, she may be in the Facebook group. So Heather, if anybody's in the Facebook group versus the Zoom room, and if they have a follow-up, would you just share that with Tabitha so Tabitha could share that with me? And if not, could you make sure that Amity gets that feedback by sending her the replay and telling her feedback's in the replay? Back to Betsy. Mothers around 30 to 40, upper to middle class, stay-at-home moms, or high corporate leaders with some mom guilt who are blindsided by husband wanting a divorce and threatening to take the kids. She doesn't know much about legal affairs. Her husband has always handled the money, etc. So you already know this is a really strong niche with a very, very urgent problem. So you are definitely going in the right direction here. I would, again, like I've told everyone else, really, I would probably focus your marketing and your messaging on either the stay-at-home mom piece or the female corporate leaders. Does that mean you can't work with both? No. I mean, you can even have, you know, like I do here in my services section, you know, it's for you if you can even say, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and maybe you're, you know, doing this, maybe you're that. So you can kind of work that into on your services page. And I do this in the template for the website that you're going to receive joining the academy. You'll have a space to kind of describe the different avatars, but for your actual niche statement that we really anchor to, I would pick one or the other, either the stay-at-home moms or the corporate leaders. Only because from a marketing perspective, your copy is going to be wildly different for both. Because when we describe the situations that a stay-at-home mom is dealing with, where her husband's controlling all the money and she's like, what the heck, versus the corporate mom with mom guilt, it's just going to be very, very different copy from a marketing perspective. What's your thought, Betsy?
Do I need to really include either one? I mean, because I'm so specific, I feel like already. I just was trying to my point in putting those two was kind of like, okay, it was unexpected, right? Like either they were stay at home and it did not like, or they didn't see it coming. And so they're in shock to some extent. So I see how that would be, it would be advantageous to put that, you know, where you just showed in the website, but could I just like not specify to either one? Cause I don't even know if it says in there. I mean, they're worried about their custody of their kids and, you know, all that stuff. So is that part really?
No, that's a good question. And I would just say, I mean, you're talking to a marketing person, a messaging person, right? So I'm pretty hardcore just because I see what works. I'll give you an example, because we're going to be writing website copy, for example, right? We're going to be writing website copy about the pain. Now, while yes, some of the pain is very, very much the same. And Tabitha, if you could let Nicole in, I see she's in the waiting room. Some of it's the same, right? You're going through a divorce is divorce, losing kids is losing kids. But we are actually going to get so specific with your copy. We're going to describe actual situations that people are in. So when you're describing the stay-at-home moms, oh, I don't know why we can't let Nicole in. That's weird. When we're talking about like a stay-at-home mom's pain, her pain as she goes through this divorce. So let me just, you know, and I know you know this, you're the expert here, but you know, her pain is like, oh my God, I this whole time, my husband's had all the finances. I don't even know what finances I have. Is he going to leave me with anything? Now I have to go out and get a job. I'm freaking out. In addition to that, are the courts going to believe that I can, you know, take care of my kids? How am I, what's the first, you know, versus a corporate or executive mom who has kind of a different set of pain points. That's like, how do I balance, you know, I'm already in this like demanding freaking job. And now I have to leave every so often for court and everything else. How do I balance the stress of these two things? Yeah, like you said, there's some mom guilt. Maybe I haven't been there enough. Now, once I get the kids, if I get the kids to myself, how am I going to balance daycare? So I would, for the sake of marketing and the copy that we're going to be blowing out, pick one for your statement. And then it's okay to kind of describe different avatars. And by the way, Betsy, it's all a test. So let's say we test out this one, for example, and you say, you know, Betty, the people I'm attracting, they're not really the people I want, blah, blah, blah. Then we flip it. It's all a test. None of this is set in stone. It's test, test, test. But what I want you to do is choose a direction, because if you start too wide, the test fails no matter what. So, you know, this was just an example of, I help corporate executive moms going through a divorce. learn the ins and outs of the legal and divorce process so she doesn't lose her kids, helps the kids acclimate to the new change, and doesn't lose her sanity in the process. I mean, I made that up.
Good. I love you.
Just making things up. But when you, Betsy, do your ICA surveys, right? You're at least 5 of your ICA surveys, you're going to get from, and you know what, Betsy, will be cool. And we'll talk about this on our kickoff call. I'm totally cool if you want to do 2 sets of ICA surveys. Maybe you do 3 to 5 of these corporate moms that are in demanding jobs going through divorces, and you see what their deal is. And then maybe you do 3 to 5 of the stay-at-home moms where, you know, maybe they come from, you know, their husband has some money, but, you know, they're freaking out in a different capacity. If you do this, is it more work? Yes. But I'm just giving you the permission. You can do 2 sets of surveys, because you know what, Betsy, at the end of that, you'll know which direction needs it more, is willing to pay for it, and that you want to work with more.
Right. Because the legal strategy for both are completely different for each of the 2. The stay-at-home mom has to prove that she can provide for her children. They have to get a job in most states. That's a requirement. And the one that's the corporate mom has to prove that she has the time to care for her children and to the courts. So
yes. Yeah. So I'm not mad at this if you want to, but just make sure, and we'll talk about this in your kickoff call. I'm going to give you, this is something in the academy that I give academy members. I'm going to give you something called a trend worksheet. So after your ICA surveys, you're going to gather up the trends, and then we can look at the 2 trend worksheets and really decide which of these who's do we want to focus on, you know?
Okay.
So great start. Okay. I'll drop this into the chat for you, Betsy, and I'll be talking to you next week, lady.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, sister. Okay. Here's Betsy, and just dropping this into the chat. You know, and again, I'm making that up. You'll tweak that. One other thing too, Betsy, for you, just putting put a pin in this. We need to think about this as we do your competition matrix. How does what you do as a coach, you don't need to answer this now, just think about this, and let's talk about it on the kickoff call, and I will help you with this. How does what you do as a coach differ from what their divorce lawyer or maybe even a counselor might be doing with them? How does what you do differ? You probably already know this. Bring that to our kickoff coaching call. We need to write out that copy and make it crystal clear to your clients. No, it's not just working with a divorce lawyer and a counselor. Here's how I come in. So, you know, put a pin in that and bring that to our kickoff call. Johnny. Men aged 35 to 55 yearning to Porsche up their lives. That made me smile. And I think Tabitha grabbed that from a Zoom call. But then when I was scrolling through here, I saw more. So I was like,
I've updated it, Betty. I've updated
you
it.
Updated it. All right. So let's see. Let's play. Is there anything you want to share high level before we get into it?
Right. I think the last bit was quite a lot of desperation, Porsche up their mindsets to smash out of that rut.
So cool. Yeah. I think that's fun. I mean, listen, I love the Porsche up your lives as the mantra. I think that's so fun. So for your niche statement, let's kind of talk through it. So trapped or unfulfilled, 9 to 5ers. So you're getting more specific. This is good. Trapped, unfulfilled. So let's break it down here. Our who's. So unfulfilled. So it's, we're looking at men who are feeling unfulfilled. I think you want to, again, this is marketing. I know you can help all different types of guys and et cetera, but just to confirm, we're talking about men who are unfulfilled in their current 9 to 5 role, because there's a lot of things to be unfulfilled with, right? Could be your relationship, could be your health. Where are they unfulfilled? Just to be sure.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's right. It could be any area of life, but I think, having a mission and purpose with a career is huge, isn't it? Like,
yes.
Gives you all that extra energy and a focus. So I think that's pretty key. Yeah,
absolutely. So men unfulfilled, in their 9-to-5 role. So now it's adding on maybe 1 to 2 more qualifiers to make it easier for you to do LinkedIn outreach. You mentioned the age bracket. So that would work. And you could say 35 to 55, or you could say Gen X or boomers. You know, maybe I'd go with Gen X.
Yeah.
So you could say Gen X. I help Gen X men unfulfilled in their 9-to-5 role. I think the only other thing here that would be so great, Johnny, is from an outreach standpoint, to make it easier for you to outreach, if you would be willing to get more specific with either, I mean, you guys are, I'm like a broken record, right? The department, the industry, job title range. Again, this is, I hit 6 figures when I was career coaching, and my statement was, I help unfulfilled. I said, corporate director to VP women identify and transition to their dream careers. That was my a short version of my niche. And it blew up because these women were like, oh, she's literally talking to me. So when I would outreach to VPs, they were like, oh, we're a perfect match. So I would just say for you, pick your poison. Thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, in outreaching so far, you know, I mean, I try and work with leaders anyway. You know, I mean, those who are already kind of like have a mindset that is developed and
right.
You know, they obviously as leaders have to, you know, get out there and be pretty fearless. So, yeah, I think because I like to take action fast and like challenge them and just say, well, you know, shoot for the stars. And yeah, I need to start with people who are kind of thinking that way already.
Yes. Again, I'm making this up, right? But like right there, I help unfulfilled corporate director to VP men. I mean, it's the flip of what I did, and I got to 6 figures my first year.
Right.
You don't have to do that. I'm just giving you an example. I don't care, you know, where you go, department, industry, just something so that when you outreach, it's you have somewhere to start, and people, and the copy is customized for those humans. And, you know, I'm already assuming that, and it is an assumption, but, you know, director to VP are probably Gen X-ish. You know, I had a client that focused on just C-suite men, you know, so yeah, you decide. It's up to you with the who, but let's get a little more specific there. Moving on, Porsche up their mindsets. That's so cool. Is it cute? Yes, but it's also cool to transform their quiet lives of desperation. So let's talk about a little bit more. Let's get some more details. The next thing, and again, with the who, other things that I didn't even mention with the who: job, industry, department, job title range. You said leaders. I mean, you know, I don't think you need to go this way, but I'm just saying married, divorced, you know, blah, blah, blah. There's so many different ways you could go. And then the next thing is let's move down here. I want more clarity on what is the number one urgent problem that you're solving for them, in their words. So I love your kind of marketing, cool, you know, Porsche up the mindset, but what do they tell you? I'm an unfulfilled corporate VP guy, and I'm just feeling like dead inside. There's something about my job that, like, what are they saying? What are they saying? These leaders, these men, you know, 35 to 55 male leaders, what are they saying is the urgent problem they need solved?
Well, I mean, getting them to specifically admit the urgent problem is half the battle, but you can pick up elements of it, you know, clues, because how they talk about their work or career, and, you know, they're like, oh, it's just a job, yeah, and they're like, oh, I can't wait till the weekend, and, you know, they just it's bringing my energy down being around them, just the way they talk about their careers, right? Because I like to be obviously just looking around people that are like positive and full of energy, and you know when they found their calling, because they have that all the time. So yeah, it's more, yeah, getting them to actually admit what their urgent problem is. Yeah, it has been a challenge so far. But I mean, I guess from now I would start asking them more directly,
Yes.
what it is.
Yeah. Yep. We just got to do some digging. That's all. So, I think action 1 for you, those ICA surveys, we got to dig. And yeah, I would just tell them this is a confidential call, totally confidential. I will never use your name. I am not recording this. This is just me doing market research. Please feel free to give me, you don't need to give me the corporate answer that you're supposed to say. I want to encourage you to give me the true answer, because not only will that help the program I'm creating, but I potentially will have resources to share with you later based on what you say is the true urgent problem you're dealing with. And so yeah, that's your first action item is you got to get those surveys and, set up those surveys so that they understand, we're going to be digging, and that this high level, like the guys that say it's just a job, those aren't your ideal client avatars, unless they have another urgent problem. The guys that say, it's just a job. Okay, cool. So your job isn't a problem at all? Are there any problems in your job that keep you up at night? Oh, it's what it is. It's just a job. Okay, cool. Well, you're a corporate to director, VP man, tell me more about, you're this leader, you're a family man, what's the overall problem that keeps you up at night? Dig. So that's first. 2, as basic as this sounds too, and I gave you all the other market validation stuff to do from day 2. I still want you to do that. But I would even Google, what problems do male leaders face today? That basic. And you're going to find so many articles that talk about like the dirty truth that nobody wants to talk about. I mean, you could even Google that, right? What problems do male leaders face today that they don't want to admit, So I would even like Google articles, and then just planting a seed for you. I'm not telling you to go this direction. I'm just planting a seed. If you're looking for more anabolic people that are less catabolic and kind of down in the dumps, my clients, I had a client who works with C-suite men. And, these guys are a lot more into the kind of upper crust of life coaching and mindset and leveling up. And, so again, just like I said to Betsy, I'm not mad at, if you want to interview a couple different types of ICAs and you get a vibe of, based on their problems, what problems do you want to solve? And same thing with C-suite men. You could Google, what problems do C-suite men face today? And you could even Google, what keeps them up at night? And then you could see to yourself, which problems do you want to deal with? And then based on that, that's the guy you target.
And would you use Chat GPT as well for that?
Absolutely. Chat GPT. Absolutely. Yeah, as long as you're asking the right questions in there, right? You can get some good answers. Right. So that's what we need you to do next. Your action item. Yeah, Chat GPT all the way. Google and Chat GPT. Do a little bit of both. And again, like this is such an awesome mantra. And I want that mantra, like maybe that's a mantra we even have underneath your niche statement. Portion up your mindset to transform your quiet life of desperation. That's awesome.
Well,
but I want to make sure.
Yeah, sorry, Betty. I was going to say, I've got the website, right? I've had the website PorscheUpYourLife.com for like 5 years. So it's there set up. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And I would just say, if I was coming and working with you, I would say for the niche statement above the fold, we want that to be much more specific clarity. And then underneath that is like your fun mantra, so here is your clear niche statement here, clear niche statement talking about their specific urgent problems, blah, blah, blah. That's the clear niche statement above. And then here's like your fun mantra. He's the Porsche up the mindset guy. That's cool. But above that, from a marketing standpoint, let's get real specific. So when someone comes to your website, they're like, oh, he's solving my problem. Yeah, let me see what I can do here. Make sense?
Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Thanks, Betty.
Great job, Johnny. I'm excited for you. Yeah, keep me in the know here. Great. All right, Michelle. Michelle helping women who are pre-empty nesters and empty nesters unleash the power of the next chapter of their lives with renewed purpose, fun, and peace, and reconnect with who they are now. So Michelle, I'll give you your feedback. If you're here, you can come off mute. If you're not, hopefully your concierge will send you this replay, or if you're on the Facebook group, hear my words and drop into the chat if you have questions. Great niche. Great niche, great niche, empty nester niche, great niche. I have definitely had clients in the academy who are focused on this space, empty nesters. This is definitely a validated market. Now, while I love the unleash the power of the next chapter of your life, I love that. I'd love to hear in their words, what is the number one urgent problem they are experiencing after becoming an empty nester, to be sure that we put the whole thing in their words from the ideal client avatar surveys. So again, when you run those ideal client avatar surveys, try to be a little more clear. I'm an empty nester. What's my urgent problem that's keeping me up at night? We need to get that from your ICA surveys. So during your ICA surveys, I want you to ask what they want next. So, okay, you're about to become an empty nester. Okay, you're an empty nester now. What do you want next? And what help do you need to get there? Now, I'll give you an example. And again, you guys know I'm making this up. You're the experts with your niche, not me. I'm the marketer. I'm the messenger. I'm the business strategy person. So I'm giving you examples. If during your ICAs, some of these empty nesters mention, I might want to do something different with my career now. Now that the kids aren't here, I might want to start a business. I might want to really enjoy my retirement. I might want to start some new hobbies. I might want a new social life, right? If they start to mention stuff like, because that's what we want is the nitty gritty. What do you want? If they're mentioning that, it's okay to drop that into the statement so that we're very, very, very clear. So my example to you, where is she? Is this, let's see, for Michelle. So again, just an example. I help pre and post empty nester women decide what they want the next chapter of their life to look like, be it career, business, retirement, hobbies, or social life, so they feel renewed purpose while reconnecting with who they are now. Bingo, bango, boom. Okay. Let me put that into the chat in case Michelle is watching the replay. Michelle. So I would go a direction like that where it's very, very clear. So again, Michelle, you might be in the Facebook group or watching the replay. We'll make sure that you get that feedback, and I hope that was helpful. Erin. And I'm just going back and forth here with the chat. Erin, I'm thinking of professional or burnt out millennial woman for my who. Always a good who. Those poor millennials just burning the heck out. It's true though. The rest is something like let go of the pressure put on them so they can have more fun and enjoyment. Yeah. So your who is great. We know that that is a validated market. Millennials are burning out. Yes, you hear
I've
me,
added
girl?
more to this. I'm here.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've added more to this too.
Cool. In the Zoom chat or in the Facebook group? Oh, in the Zoom chat, I think,
Zoom.
right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I got it. Let me copy it and bring it over.
Okay.
I think my who still needs some work, you said. Okay, got it. Let me grab this and bring this over. Okay. Let's put you all on one page so I don't get confused. The copy person in me needs to see everything in copy. Okay, you said, I think my who still needs some work as well as my what. Yeah, that's why we're here. We're just playing. I don't want to specify an industry because I don't want my niche to be directed towards only corporate. I also want to include women who work for themselves or who are stay-at-home moms. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. That's a who, that's specific. And Pat, yeah, okay. Also, I want the what to encompass the known problem of how society tells women to be and act and be all the things, at the same time. Ain't that the truth? So my niche statement right now is, okay, now we got a new one. By the way, welcome to our new people popping onto Zoom. Just a quick reminder, Tabitha, if you could just, for the new people popping in, post the information page for the Corporate to Six Figure Coach Academy. And Heather, if you could post that as well. And if you could post the book a discovery call link. I see some new people kind of hopping in halfway. Welcome, welcome. if you book a discovery call today, we are going to send you a free resource on how to turn your ideal client avatar surveys into sales. But you have to book your discovery call today before I get off this call. All right, back to you, Erin. I help burnt out professional millennial women let go of the pressure on them so they can have more fulfillment in their life. Although your comment about adding what my ICA fears might be added at the end here too. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so we're getting somewhere here. I definitely I'm fine with, you don't have to go after an industry. You don't have to go after corporate. You said, I like this, women who work for themselves or stay-at-home moms. So let's highlight that. So again, if you're doing ICA surveys, which I hope you are, I'm giving you the same permission I'm giving everyone else. I would for sure interview millennial women who work for themselves. I would find those women who work for themselves. And I don't know, you might want to, think about, are they solopreneurs? Do they lead a team? Are they virtual? Are they, in person? But I would interview those ladies and get from them what's their urgent problem when it comes to burning out. I know that's a big one for women working for themselves, right? Is potential burnout. So I would interview them and stay-at-home moms, right? I would interview them as well. In fact, as I think about it, you could combo the two, you could combo that and you could throw away the millennial even if you wanted to, and you could just say, I help women who are their own bosses. I help women. I know boss moms is such a wah term. People are like, ugh, with that, boss moms. But I help, women. How about moms who work for themselves, right? That right there is like pure burnout. You got kids and you're working for yourself. You don't even need to get into being a millennial. I help moms who work for themselves, I'd go that angle. That's nice and specific. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, the moms thing is tripping me up. I'm not a mom, so I can't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if it feels,
but I'm not.
If it feels weird to coach on something that you're like, well, that's not me. You don't have to do that. But even so get rid of that if that's tripping you up. Just going after women who are solopreneurs. I help women. You could say this. Ooh, okay, this is fun. See, this is where I want to fly you guys out here and just do an in-person workshop all day. I help six-figure solopreneurs. You don't have to do that. I know that's icky to some people. I'm just trying to position you so that whoever comes to you can afford your services. You don't have to do that. We're just playing. I know that's a turnoff to some, but we're just playing in the sandbox. I help six-figure women solopreneurs, because that's when things start to get a little bit, right? They're coming from all directions. Avoid burnout by blah, 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 blah. Right? So again, just another angle here, but I think for sure I would go after the solopreneur women. I'd go after that angle. That's what I do. And just think about, with being a solopreneur, what types of solopreneurs. And if you're willing to, if it doesn't totally turn you off, say six-figure solopreneurs, and I'm telling you, I've been through it. When you hit the six-figure mark, that's when you're like, oh, it's all happening, like, yay, the money, but help, right? That's when the burnout can happen unless somebody swoops in and says, no, I got you. So I would think about going that direction. And let's see, what did I have for you here? This is going to kind of change now. But let's just grab this here to see how it could still work. I help I was going insurance because of your background. Were you in insurance?
Yeah, I don't want to coach in insurance.
Yeah, I know. Just like Valencia was like, get me out of this industry. I feel you. I help solopreneur. I help, what did I say? I help 6-figure women, solopreneurs on the verge of burnout. Boom. And then insert the action you help them take to let go of the pressure and avoid burnout. Whatever you do, put it there so they can actually enjoy the freedom of working from home while balancing self-care and downtime. Something like that, right? Mm-hmm. Like we became entrepreneurs because we wanted to enjoy it, right? Not because we wanted to burn out. So something like that. Questions, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I like it. I need to do the ICA surveys for sure. I've been able to do one. But yeah, like I wanted to, I wanted to really inject like the words fun and enjoyment or something like that. Because that's kind of where I wanted to really focus on, like getting like helping people have fun, and they're like allowing themselves to have fun and kind of like act like a kid again.
Cool. I love that so much. I mean, again, even though, here I'm, more tracking towards the 7-figure mark here, but I like the sound of that, right? Like being a kid again, like, cause it's so like work. And, like you get into it and you're like, wait, I left my corporate job to have more freedom, but why aren't I going out and doing fun things and being a kid again? So you can do that, but get the words from them. Now, for sure, let me just say one last thing. Okay. So you're right. ICA surveys, let them tell you what they want to do. And you're going to use their words. However, when we build your signature method, which is in mod 2 of the Academy, that's where we're getting it into, Erin, all this other stuff like being a kid again, having fun like a kid again, and then explaining to them how that's going to help solve their big problem. So you'll have 3 to 5 steps or pillars in your signature method. And that's when you'll give them what they actually need. And if they say that's what they want, then we put it in the statement. The statement, we put what they want, what they say they want. The method, we give them what they need to achieve what they want. Make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Keep me updated. All right. Thanks, Erin. Nicole.
Thank you.
Nicole, women in the educational field who are professionally dissatisfied. So I know, Nicole, you're traveling and you can't unmute. That's totally fine. And Nicole, basically, well, I don't know if you're driving, definitely don't do anything. Just drive. If you're a passenger, you can comment, but if you're a driver, do nothing but drive. So Nicole, I sent you a pretty long, or I should say detailed email on this question. Because you were more in depth with your email talking about who you wanted to help. So I guess for you, Nicole, especially since you're traveling, because I don't know if you're driving or not, please read that email because I went very in depth. Okay, good. You saw the email. So let me ask you this, Nicole. Is there anything in addition to the email that I can further qualify for you, that you have further questions on? Drop that into the chat. I know you can't unmute, but I kind of gave you this long email kind of breaking down the direction you could go. So I'm going to move on to the next person, but drop into the chat, Nicole, or just email me back and tell me if you have any additional questions. But I think I gave you a lot to work with there.
Sorry, Betty, can I interrupt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's here?
Nicole, this is Tabitha.
Hey, what's going on?
Nicole just sent me her statement since she's unable to unmute. I just wanted to read that for you.
Okay.
So she said, I help professionally dissatisfied women in the education field empower themselves so they can find passion and purpose in their career. And let me actually drop that in the chat as well.
Thank you, because otherwise I'm just kind of bumbling my way through here.
All right, here we go.
Thanks. Okay, Nicole, you can email me back, and Tabitha is going to drop your statement in the chat too, so I can give you kind of one more little something. Okay, so here we got it. I help, nope, that ain't it. That's mine. Just kidding. help professionally paste dissatisfied women in the education field. Okay. So we're getting somewhere. Let me go back to my notes to you in the email and kind of go back and cross-check. Professionally dissatisfied women in the education field empower themselves so they can find passion and purpose in their career. So I'm just reading through my notes. So I still am curious. And again, you don't need to put this in the chat. Oh yeah, you said you were concerned about narrowing down the education part. Yeah, I mean, I would still, at the very minimum, have a spot. I mean, if you join my program, this is part of the email template. In your services page, you can kind of say it's for you if, and then you can kind of give examples of different education fields that you focus on. I just want to make sure when somebody reads education field that they understand, like high school teachers, college, and even like I was saying, are they teachers? Are they high school, college? Are they principals? Are they something else? Are they superintendents? Are they, there's just so many. So yeah, it's not that you necessarily to narrow it down, but at minimum, I'd have a space somewhere on your website, maybe your services page or your homepage, where you say it's for you if, so that you can just make sure that they understand what part of the educational field that you're helping. Okay, moving on. So again, I had asked in the email, which I think you're getting at it. What is the urgent problem you're solving for them? Right? That's originally where I was unclear. And I kind of gave you two options. One, is it to help them identify and transition to a new role? So they're in education and you're like, maybe they're not happy with that anymore. And you want to take those transferable skills and help them transition to a new role. Or is it to help them find passion and purpose in their current role, right? So, and that's what you did. You kind of came out and said that, which is great. So now what you need to do next, which I think you're probably already doing, is to start to interview your ideal client avatar surveys. And here's why. We really, really want to make sure that your teachers who are unsatisfied, that their goal is, no, I want to, well, and let me read this, empower themselves so they find passion and purpose in their career. I guess even this, I would be very clear on, are you helping them love their teaching job again? Or are you helping them leave their teaching job and take their transferable skills to a career they love? I want that level of clarity in your statement. And I'm even okay with, usually I'm not okay with this, but I'm even kind of okay with if you say, and by the way, professionally dissatisfied, I still was unclear what professionally meant. So I would even drop that. You could say something like, I help unfulfilled women in the education field either learn to love their teaching job again, or take their transferable skills and find a new career they love altogether. Could be as simple as that, Nicole. I help unfulfilled women in the education field either learn to love their teaching job again or take their transferable skills and find a new career they love altogether. Thoughts? You like it? Okay, cool. Yeah, do that. And here's what's cool. You'll find out over time, Nicole, you'll have women that come to you and you'll find out like after a year, 90% want to go this way and 10% want to go this way. And then eventually you can drop one of these two things and just focus on the one most people want. But you could kick it off like this. And then the cool thing is too, Nicole, again, join the Academy, Nicole, darn it, because there's so much we could do with you. In addition to B2C, you could also go after B2B and pitch your services to teaching organizations and say, listen, I want to come in, these teachers that are burnt out and unhappy and leaving, and you're having trouble keeping teachers to stay. I want to come in and do a workshop. You can hire me for a 3-month, a 6-month program where I come in here and I keep them happy and I keep them focused and I keep them passionate about their job and I help them avoid burnout. So that's what's really cool. You could easily get to 6 figures teaching both B2C and B2B, Nicole. So join the academy so we can teach you how to do that. All right. Good job, Nicole. Liz. Climbing corporate ladders, Liz. And again, I apologize if maybe there was more information somewhere else, Liz, on the climbing of the corporate ladders. But just in general, here are my thoughts. If you're in the Facebook group or watching the recording, it's a great start. We love helping corporate ladder climbers, and we need to get more specific with the who, right? So that's where it starts. Are you helping women or men? What's the age bracket? What's the industry? What's the department? Are they parents? Are they introverts? I don't know. Pick 2 to 3 descriptors of these corporate ladder climbers. Next, your ideal client avatar surveys and your market validation. We need to uncover the urgent problem you are helping them solve. I'm assuming if you're a corporate ladder climber, the urgent problem is help me get to the next level, help me get a promotion. And really what you need to uncover in your ICA surveys is why, right? Because just like I'm helping you guys build a 6-figure coaching business, it's not just about the money. There's a lot behind wanting to leave a 9-to-5 and build this kind of a business. So you need to find out why. Why do they want to climb the corporate ladder? Why do they want a promotion? Okay. So my feedback to you, is this guy is just, again, I'm just kind of playing here. This is an example. I help corporate manager and director level women who feel stuck in their current job role, which by the way is perfect for LinkedIn, Liz. You can target corporate manager and director women who have been in the same role for X amount of years, who you can tell they're stuck at that level. It's a perfect outreach targeting. I help them build their brand, create a support squad, and make strategic moves so they can get promoted. And I'm making that up, right? But it's whatever you're gonna do to help them get to the next level, to climb the ladder, to get promoted. What are you gonna do? Fill in the blank. So that's just an example for Liz, and I'm going to throw that in the chat. And Liz, reach back out if you have any questions there. Luis, I help small business women entrepreneurs achieve their goal of growing their business, get more clients, customers, and more sales, how to set goals and achieve milestones, and how to plan to achieve those milestones. So I love the niche, of course, it's business, you know. I'd go one step more specific with the type of entrepreneur. I see a lot of clients that come to the academy that want to help entrepreneurs, and they're flailing because it's so general. Even if you say small business, it's still kind of general. You'll blow up your business and become the #1 expert authority if you can get even more specific on the type of small business entrepreneur. So for example, is she brick and mortar or is she virtual? If she's virtual, what's her virtual business? If she's brick and mortar, what's her brick and mortar business? Example, I have a client in the academy who focuses on restaurant owners. How is so easy for her to do outreach? Because if I told you to go do outreach on LinkedIn to small business owners, you'd be like, I have like a list of 1 million, right? But by my client saying, no, I'm going to focus on restaurant owners, it's so easy for her to gather them up and to get into conversation with them. So I would pick a type of entrepreneur even more specific than small business. The rest is great. You know, I help XYZ grow their business, attract more clients, and make more sales so they can fill in the blank, right? So again, I'll just grab that there. Once you get more specific, right? I help fill in the blank. We got to get more specific, grow their business, attract more clients, and make more sales so they can, so what? What are they trying to do? Are they scaling? What do they want? Get that from them. Their why. And Luis, I hope that was helpful. Reach out to us if you need any more help. Tiffany, I help executive HR leaders in technology and manufacturing be more influential and cultivate a growth mindset. I think it's a great who for sure. ICA surveys are going to tell you what the #1 urgent problem is in their words, right? In their words. Are you with us, Tiffany? You're with us.
I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. So the who is great. I'm feeling that. That's nice and specific. But the ICA surveys, it's this last part that I want to cross-check with your ICA surveys so that they're telling you in their words what the number one urgent problem is. And even, you know, I'm even just saying for executive leaders in HR, you know? So I would, if it were me, I would drop growth mindset. Now, are you going to do that? Of course you are. That's going to go in your signature methodology. It's probably going to be module 1 of your program, growth mindset. Without that, you can't have anything. But for the marketing aspect, let's just use the words that they think are the urgent problems. I would even go so far as, you know, I was kind of just playing around online. I was Googling just, you know, basic articles like, what's this one? 10 of the biggest HR challenges in 2023. And again, trying to put myself into the head of these HR executives, like what's in their mind, right? All of this stuff that they are feeling super pressured. Oh my gosh, it's keeping me up at night. If I can't do this, blah, 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 blah. So again, I'll drop this into the chat. That's just an example, but I think bottom line here, is that helpful, Tiffany?
Yeah. And what's coming up for me is those are the problems that they're trying to solve. But if they look at themselves, where I spend my time coaching my colleagues is around self-awareness, self-advocacy. They struggle with finding their voice. And what they need to do is, you know, people see them in a certain way. They don't see themselves as powerful. And I don't know how to capture that so that they can really take all the challenges that are coming at them, all the setbacks, and reframe it in a way so they can stay motivated. And again, stay in their brilliance. You know, they have these wonderful talents that get minimized because they're so focused on putting all the fires out all the time. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to help them.
Okay, I'm just playing here in the sandbox constantly. Because what you're saying, you guys, this is so interesting too. When I work with my clients and you know, talk to you guys, what you say is so powerful. Like the words that come out of your mouth are always a level up from the words on the paper. So what you just described is on point, putting out fires. So again, I help, let me just grab here. I help executive HR leaders in tech and manufacturing. Let's go down here. I help executive HR leaders in tech and manufacturing learn to self-advocate, find their voice. And by the way, are you helping women or women and men?
I would say it's primarily women.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to focus on that. I think it would be nice. There's such a good book. Hold on here. You've probably read this. Women, hold on here. Women Imposter Syndrome book.
Oh, yes. It comes up a lot.
The Secret Thoughts of Successful Women. Have you seen that?
No, but
it's everything. Okay. This book, let me put it in the chat. The Secret Thoughts of Successful Women by Valerie Young. It talks about for women how that imposter syndrome keeps them from being successful. And that's the whole idea. It's secret thoughts. We're not allowed to actually say that it's the best book ever. So anyways, definitely grab that. But yeah, I help executive HR women leaders in tech and manufacturing learn to self-advocate, find their voice, and maximize their talents instead of constantly putting out fires. And then you can either have that as a short version, and then in addition to the short version, you have kind of a mantra, like I'm telling people at the bottom, a mantra with kind of three of the so that statements. You know, what's their why? What's their why? You know, so that you can blah, 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 blah. So they have to tell you why that's important to them. So you can have it like that, a short version, and then a mantra. Like I say stuff to my people like, you know, live your passion, feel authentic, be free. That's just my so that, right? So you could have a mantra, and then you could have a longer version of this where you say, I help you do this, you know, so that you achieve blah, blah, blah. And that's the longer version.
Wonderful.
Let me put that in the chat for you. Great job.
Thanks, Betty.
Great start. Absolutely. Dropped in the chat. Okay, great. All right, moving on. We have more questions. We have questions on the Academy. I want to get to those quick here before we pop off, and then I'll hop over to the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything else. What is the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy cost? So let me make sure I bring up all my questions for you guys and make sure I get through everything before we get off and you can go enjoy your Saturdays. We have multiple pricing options depending on the program you sign up for. The first step is to book your discovery call, which, by the way, if you book your discovery call today, for the people that just hopped on, you will receive a free resource, which is a pretty awesome resource to learn how to turn your ICA surveys into clients. If you're already doing ICA surveys, I suggest you book a discovery call and get this resource. It's pretty awesome and it works. But anyways, the first step, pricing. We want you to book a discovery call. Why? Couple reasons. One, we need to even determine if we're a fit. We're not, I'll be totally honest. We don't accept everyone into the Academy. We can't. We have to make sure you're a fit. It wouldn't be ethical to just let anybody in. We are really vetting people to make sure they're a fit, just as you are vetting the same way. That's the smart way to do it. The vibe of the tribe matters. So that's got to be figured out before we, this is how much it is. So that comes first. Now, if we determine you're a fit and vice versa, from there, we will review the program and pricing options. Right? We do have various pricing options. So we want to talk pricing once we determine you're a fit for the program, but there are various pricing options. How long is the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy? It's a 1-year-long business incubator. The duration has been created very intentionally to allow us to truly hold your hand in getting you to the finish line of standing up a coaching business. This is not a one and done quickie coaching session. I say this again and again, 10 coaching sessions ain't going to get you to the finish line to 6 figures. A digital course ain't going to get you to the finish line. We here in this program, we do long-term sustainable results only. Side note, is it going to take you a full year to get a client? Of course not. We have cash injection actions baked into mod 1 and mod 2 of the program. The second that I have, there's an indicator that you're able to go out and start to make money, they're like little Easter eggs. I plant these little cash injection actions into the program. I've got mod 1 and mod 2, 6 cash injection items. If you take immediate action, you will start to see ROI. So, I do want to be clear that it's not, I got to do this thing for a year and then I can get clients. No. When you guys saw Valencia last night, she made $30,000 in the first 3 months of our program. We want you to be making, you better be making sales while you're here. That's kind of the point, right? You're not waiting till 1 year, just to be clear. What's included in the Academy? Again, here, won't go too far down the rabbit hole, but the Success Squad is a big piece of what's included. It's the people component. Right? This is much more. This is not a digital course. I repeat. You'll be your business coaching with me. This is not one of those courses where you join. You're like, where's Betty? I'm business coaching you. I'm hot seat coaching you on business strategy and marketing. You will also be assigned your own success coach. This is a private one-on-one. They're IPEC certified. They're graduates of the Academy. They are there to help you implement, and really cool, we've got specific and customized. This is what they'll do with you guys. Set up your 30, 60, 90-day goals, and then they are there on to make sure you're achieving those 30, 60, 90-day goals on a customized level. You have a copy coach. She's a rock star, 10 years as a practicing life coach and business coach, 15 years of copywriting and marketing. You never have to feel like, oh, copy. We're going to give you copy templates, and then you're going to fill those out, and then your copy coach is going to give you edits. So you will never feel naked when it comes to copy. You'll have a money mindset coach. It is not enough to have a business blueprint. You've got to be in the headspace. You have to be in the headspace. And by the way, side note, Tomorrow's session, Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 p.m., 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. I've heard it's one of the most powerful sessions of the entire boot camp. I've had people, I mean, not that I want you in tears here, but it's powerful. I've had people tell me it's their favorite. Please join tomorrow when I talk about how to master the mindset of transitioning from corporate to coach. It's a head game. You can have the best blueprint in the world, but if it's not going on up here, we got a problem, Houston. So I'm giving you a free training on that tomorrow. Please be there. It's going to be very interactive. You're going to leave feeling transformed. And then, we do have a money mindset coach in our program, in our academy, who will continue that work with you. We give you a peer accountability pod. So this is a really incredible mastermind community. These, the coaches we have in this program are top level coaches. So you always want to be, it's the power of the rooms you're in. If the room you're in, you're the smartest person in the room, you got a problem. We got to get you into a different room. That's the idea here. So we're putting you in a peer accountability pod with 4 to 6 academy members. You'll meet with them on a consistent basis. Why? To deepen your mastery of business concepts I teach. I have a very set agenda of how I want you to deepen those concepts and mastery. And you'll hold each other accountable. We're having our first ever in-person Tampa, Florida event. Clients only. You'll be able to network with academy members, learn, and I'll give you more hot seat coaching, of course. And we're having guest experts, and you're coming at a good time. We're inviting them in. We're continuing to have them in monthly now through September. You'll also have access to all the recordings of guest experts we've had in the past. So every single topic you can think of. How to start a podcast, how, Instagram, how to get a speaking gig. I've brought in my lawyer to talk to you guys about legal jargon for coaches. And I will continue to bring experts in. Cool thing is, like I said, based on trends, I had an expert on ChatGPT. You'll get the recording for that. And I bring experts in based on what you want to learn. So that's also kind of cool. It's a very fluid and dynamic program. So the success squad for a full year is unmatched. Then there's the business in a box, right? We are going to give you an on-demand learning center. So when you join within 48 business hours, 24 business hours, we're going to shoot you over a link to the on-demand learning center, immediate access to training videos and worksheets. So you can dive right in. You can get wild. You can go all the way out to mod 5, whatever you need. You don't have to wait for, Betty's not teaching on that till this day. No, you can dive right in, and your success coach will guide you on where to find the trainings you need. Again, this is new, your very own website build. We're very proud of this. Your own website, the way this works, you'll get a website page given to you with templates. You'll fill out the templates. You'll give the templates to the copy coach. She'll give you copy edits. Then you'll plug and play into the website system. You have a kickoff call with your web designer and tech support along the way. The gentleman who owns this website company is such a good human and so intelligent. I can't speak highly enough of him. And he has worked with me. I didn't just take from him a website template and say, oh, thanks. I redesigned it based on what I think my clients need to have as far as copy, messaging, design, so that you are converting people who come to your website to clients. If you're not doing that, it's not doing its use. So this is my baby, and I'm happy to give you that. There are a ton of different tools you'll get in the on-demand learning center. I won't go through the whole thing. Just know, for everything you have to create when you're making a coaching business, please don't do it on your own. It's really a waste of time. You should have a blueprint. You should have a template. You should have scripts. Please don't reinvent the wheel. You guys, this is how I leveled up. I never just from scratch was like, oh, what do I do? You always want to connect with a mentor who can tell you, and this is my jam, copy, messaging, templates, right? So I'm giving you this and I'm teaching you how to customize it. And then the copy coach is giving you edits. I work in 2 ways, one-on-one or group, very, very, very limited one-on-ones, much less than a handful of sessions that I can do one-on-one, but we have some available. And option 2 is the weekly group coaching calls. If you get a bootcamp bonus, you also get your private kickoff call with me. You do have unlimited access to us in between coaching sessions. You don't have to wait a week, right? We have an online forum where you can continue to ask questions, and we check that every day. You guys know there's various things that make us different, everything from my expertise in the corporate communications world and various Fortune 500s, using that knowledge to create this program and attract clients, teaching you guys how to create a high value, high ticket coaching package. I want you selling 1 to 2 packages per month to hit your target. Why? Because you will burn out. If you're selling these low ticket programs and you've got to sell 4, 5, 6 per month, it's burnout. And that's not a sustainable coaching business. This is better for you. This is better for the client. We are one of the very few I've actually never seen another business coach include a website with their program. I've never seen it. So that's quite a big deal. Our method, you guys already have a head start here, choosing the right niche. On the kickoff call, like I mentioned to Betsy, is when we're going to look at strategically positioning you in the market using a competition matrix. We're going to tighten up your messaging, right? That niche statement, it's going to need a couple more iterations. Part 2, which is where I get really excited. A lot of you guys talking about the magic of coaching, what you do with people. This is where I help you build out your signature method. And this is where I help you create copy so that your clients, your potential clients, can see when they see, oh yeah, well, that's the ticket price, that's an investment, but I see why it's an investment because of the value. That's my gig. That's what I'm good at. Helping you create enough value in your program so that the price, they're like, oh, I see the value. We're going to launch your brand. We're going to get people excited about the launch of your brand so that when you kick off, you can get some calls booked immediately. We're going to get all the bells and whistles, the systems, the tools up and running, right? We're building the machine here. And we're making sure the launch of your brand is exciting. For some of you, it's a relaunch. That's okay. Don't worry about it. If you already have a website, side note, if you already have a website and you don't want a new website, you don't have to pay for a new website. That's fine. If you don't want to include that, that's fine. If you already have a website, but I'll still be giving you edits with that website and we'll still be doing a relaunch, right? To get everybody excited. Client attraction system. This is where we build the machine to attract clients. You wake up, you have calls booked. You never should be wondering, right? Next week it's Tuesday. You're like, what do I do to get a client today? Never. Like Valencia was saying, I have a checklist. There's never any question of like, oh, why am I not getting clients? You and I are both going to look at each other and know why you're getting clients or why you're not. We will always know. It's very upfront. This is what you got to do. And again, the cool thing is some of this you can outsource, delegate, streamline, simplify, eliminate, and some of this will be you. Last but not least is sales, right? So you're going to learn how to educate people before you get on a call. You're going to get a script. You're going to get all the juicy stuff so that here's the main deal. I don't want sales calls to feel icky. I don't want them to feel icky. You should be excited. You should be excited for those calls. So that's what's included. Is it a group or a one-on-one program? I already answered that. Both are available. Who's the program for? The program is for, these are typically people that are successful on paper. People see on paper, they're like, oh, you're doing so well. So maybe these are successful corporate professionals or executives, but they are unfulfilled. This is the version of me, right? I was in the corporate world for like a decade. I was unhappy. I looked successful on paper. I mean, I was working at my dream company at one point. People couldn't believe, they're like, oh, you get to work at that dream company. And I was like, this isn't what I want to do. So those are the people we work with who are ready to, at some point make the transition into building a full-time coaching business that will replace their 6-figure corporate income. We have coaches in this program. Many of them have coaching certifications. Most people coming to us are still in their job. Most people coming to us are still in their 9-to-5 job. We tend to attract a lot of human resources, training and development, learning and development, people ops, recruitment. Those are just natural affinity to coaching. We have a lot of people from IPEC, although that's not a prerequisite. That's just happened to be where I was certified. Some people are not from corporate. We definitely have some people in the program not from corporate, but they do have some kind of, they've achieved success in their own right. In their 9-to-5, it's just not fulfilling them anymore. And again, right? I always get this, but I'm not a corporate professional. Is this still for me? If you're motivated to become a coach, if you're ready to make an investment over 4 figures with a 6-figure ROI, then yes, we're looking for energy alignment here. Energy alignment. We're looking for people who are serious about investing in themselves. Okay. How often are new trainings and updates added to this program? It is our job to stay in the know with new marketing, messaging, and sales techniques. The program is constantly being updated and new trainings added to the On-Demand Learning Center all the time, and that's included in your membership. I invest so much time and money in my own learning of trends in the business and marketing world, you guys. I mean, I'm literally in those programs half the week. And learning. Like that is literally all I do. Or I'm out there testing myself, test. So all the time I'm updating iterations based on the newest trends that are happening out there in the universe. What if I need Betty's support in between calls? You will get my support in between calls. You have unlimited access to me and my team in between calls. Monday through Friday. We do take weekends. You're encouraged to reach out with questions or feedback in between sessions. So there is an online portal to do so. Will I get help with copywriting during this program? Of course you will. That's one of the main components of this program. You'll get copy templates. You will get a copywriter who will edit your copy. Is it a done for you service? No, we're not an agency. Although I do, sometimes I go a little wild and, you guys will see me writing like examples of what you could have, but we're giving you templates. We're coaching you how to customize the templates to your niche. We're giving you resources, we're giving you scripts, and then you're going to get training on how to customize them. And then the copy coach is going to give you edits. Do I have to be posting on social media 24/7 in order for the program to be successful? No, you do not. Social media is an integral part of building a virtual business. However, we provide you social media calendar template, social media graphics, and social media training. We also teach you how to automate or delegate your social media so you can focus more on coaching and less on posting. I will tell you, for me, I only think about social media once a week. That's it. And then I move on. But it doesn't look like that. It looks like I'm posting all the time. But that's because I have a system in place doing that for me. And that's what I'll teach you. How much time do I need to commit to doing the work in this program? It depends on how fast you want to stand up your 6-figure coaching business. So it depends on you, really. The beauty of the On-Demand Learning Center, you can move as fast or slowly as you want. We spread the program out over a year so that you can balance working your corporate job for a period of time while standing up your coaching business. We've built the program accounting for how busy you are. And P.S., all of our clients are super busy. Most of our clients are working a full-time job. We've got parents. I mean, they're busy. On average, I would say, try to spend 4 to 6 hours per week on average. But the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. How do I know if the timing is right for me to start this program? What if I'm still in my corporate job? What if I'm still getting certified? It is actually recommended that you start this program while you're still in your corporate job. That actually takes the stress out of feeling like you have to rush in standing up your business. Ideally, we want your business, your coaching business, fully up and functioning before you leave your corporate gig. So it's a smooth transition for you. It's up to you whether or not you have the bandwidth to take this program while still getting certified as a coach. We've had a healthy mixture of some clients with certifications and some who are not fully certified yet. So that's up to you. And then, I will say for me, I got laid off. So I didn't have the luxury of, ooh, I'm going to be in this corporate job forever while I'm building my business. I got the old heave ho. But even with that, I'll leave you with this on that question. Bridge jobs, part-time bridge jobs, please don't be ashamed to get a part-time bridge job. Do whatever it takes to stand up your business, period. That's the best advice I can give you. Do whatever it takes to stand up your business, period. And if that means, like when I got laid off, yeah, I went out and got a part-time bridge job, just enough so that it wasn't desperation mode. I didn't want to be in that vibe, that energy of desperation. So you do whatever it takes to build that business. What kinds of niches does your program work for? We built this for all niches. This is foundational marketing, messaging, sales principles that all of you will need to learn no matter the niche. We can help you build a high ticket package no matter the niche. I've worked with every kind of client, teen coaches, divorce coaches, career coaches, leadership coaches, executive coaches, work-life balance coaches, burnout coaches, coaches for moms, spiritual coaches, mindset coaches, the list goes on and on. So you don't need to worry about the burden being on you to see how your niche will fit into this program. My job is to use my brain on your business. I listen, I review your ideal client avatar surveys, your market validation. You don't need answers. You need willingness to do the work. You implement, and then it's up to me to help with the strategy and consulting. Do I have to make building or running my coaching business my whole life? I hope not. That's not why we're leading these 9 to 5. So no, I'm going to teach you how to build a system, all right? How to automate, eliminate, delegate, streamline, eventually build a team of some sort. You don't have to get huge, but there's some members of the team that eventually you'll want to bring on. I'm going to teach you all that. This program is meant to give you more freedom, and that includes time freedom. Vicky, one of my clients that I talked about before, she pulled in $23,000 in 2 weeks. She's a mom. She built her business while still at her job. She had 2 kids, and now she's left her 9 to 5 and she's achieving amazing results. And I just, to say she was busy. But I want you guys to all have a starting point. And that is, the starting point should be the life you want to create. Okay. That's your starting point. And then we work backwards so that your coaching business is a bridge to that life you want to create. I love my life. I love my life. And I'm honest about that. I work with my clients Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Mondays are my office days. Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, I take off when I'm not in boot camp, of course. I actually start off building my schedule for the year around my PTO, my vacation time. And I just share that to say that this is what I want for you all. We're building a business based on the life you want to create, not the other way around. So keep that in mind here. That's what's very, very important. I visualized the life I wanted, and I built my schedule and business around that life. Is it hard work at first to get yourself up and running? Sure. It's hard work at first, but once the systems and support is in place, you can breathe. And that's what I'm here to help you do. I want to emphasize, if you're watching this and sitting with a dream or hope in your heart, I'm going to help you take your niche idea and turn it into a viable business. If you join the academy, we can literally, like Betsy said, our first coaching call next week. And I'll be telling you exactly what to do to bring your dream to fruition. Last question before we get into kind of drawing it out and you guys going on and having a lovely Saturday. Do I need to purchase? This is an important question because people are trying to budget. Do I need to purchase other marketing, sales, business programs in addition to this one? No. Please don't. That actually complicates things. This is a comprehensive business education program. This is a one-stop shop. I designed it that way on purpose. You will have everything you need in this program. Please do not go out and buy more digital courses. Do not go, once you join the academy, don't go doing one-off business coaches. We have it all here for you. Any kind of support you need, including the freaking website. Okay, so that's my list of questions from Valencia. Erin, have a great day. Okay, before we hop off, I'm just jumping back to the chat to see if I missed anything else. I talked to Tanisha. I talked to Johnny. Let's see who else is here. Make sure. Is there anybody else live? Drop into the chat. Oh, Hazel here. Hazel says, I am an author and have written a book. Oh, congrats, Hazel. That's amazing. It's on Amazon and more in the spiritual realm. So now I'm torn between career or spiritual, or should I fall under both as a coach? Ooh, cool, Hazel. Hazel, feel free to come off mute. I have thoughts on that. Anything else you want to share?
No, that's pretty well. I'm stuck on that part.
Yeah, cool. And so then tell me about your book.
My book is called Now I See, Finding Your Real Identity. It's about it was dealing with trauma, leading to how I overcame trauma to where I am at now in my life.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Yes. So, here's the bottom line, just because it's been a long week and I've taught you guys all different kinds of things. I think here's the bottom line above everything else. You want to pick, Hazel, and your book is a great clue, right? You've already written a book on something you're passionate about. You want to choose an urgent problem that you want to help people solve. That's really it. That's it. Now you talked about trauma. That's yet another thing, right? That you can use coaching in the spiritual realm to help people overcome trauma. So whether you focus on you mentioned career, you want to help them in their career in the spiritual realm. There's something spiritual, that you want to help them with. It's really just at the end of the day, scrape everything else away and ask yourself, what's the urgent problem that I want to help people solve? And one thing I will say about spiritual, because I've had clients in that niche, and it's a great niche and it's a successful niche. The cool thing about the spirituality piece is that, and by the way, I will post this in the Facebook group for you, Hazel. I'll tag you. I have a lot of resources on directions to go with the spiritual niche. With spirituality, you kind of two options. Option one is you take a urgent problem people are experiencing in the spiritual umbrella, and you say, I'm going to help you solve that urgent problem in the spiritual umbrella. Option two is you go outside of the spiritual umbrella. So maybe you're looking at helping them find a new career, or like your book, maybe you're helping them overcome trauma. And then in that case, you're saying, I'm going to use spirituality as the bridge, as part of my package to help you solve this urgent problem with your career. Or I'm going to use spirituality as the bridge or part of my package to help you overcome trauma. So you get to choose. Is that helpful, Hazel?
Very helpful. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're on the right path, and congrats on that book. Feel free to drop that book link into the chat so we can all check it out. And then I will drop those extra links on spirituality in the Facebook group and tag you when we get off here. Good stuff. Okay, I'm just going down. I know we're at time here, so I just want to make sure there's Casey. Did we already go yet, Casey? Oh, Casey, maybe not. Niche statement. I help healthcare providers whom prescribe controlled substances ensure they are accurately documenting in order to avoid negative consequence on their license. Woo-wee. That's an urgent problem. Casey, anything you want to share there? You still there, Casey?
I'm here.
Yeah. Anything else you want to share on that? That's a pretty urgent problem.
No, I went through a pretty traumatic incident, and I want to kind of avoid this happening to other providers. So that's kind of where the idea came from.
I love that. And the cool thing about that too, Casey, I mean, again, that's cool for B2B and B2C. Okay. I mean, you could easily hit the 6-figure mark going into organizations with healthcare providers and saying, look, I have a complete training and coaching on how to make sure your providers are doing this the right way. And when you're coming in B2B, they're going to pay you. They're like, yes, please. What can we pay you to make sure that happens? So, I mean, I don't have a lot to say other than that's a very urgent problem and a very serious problem. So for you, I think just deciding if you want to do B2B or B2C or both.
Okay.
And then two, getting out there and doing your ideal client avatar surveys. And probably I would do ideal client avatar surveys with both. I'd probably interview some healthcare organizations that have providers. Usually it's better to do the smaller organizations, starting there. And I'd be interviewing the decision makers there, the ones who are going to give you the credit card. So they're not the provider, but they're the ones with the providers in their team, and saying, hey, is this a problem for you guys? Is this, what is that when it comes to your healthcare providers, what are the problems that are, keeping you up at night? So see if you can get some B2Bs that's a problem for, and interview them. And then separately, I'd go out there and interview some providers and maybe don't even come right into it, especially for the B2C, asking about this urgent problem. I would come into it and say, hey, healthcare provider, I was a healthcare provider for a long time. I'm doing market research to interview you on when it comes to being a healthcare provider, what are some of the urgent problems that keeps you up at night? And let them just kind of rattle it off. And then at the end of the conversation say, hey, and by the way, I have one other thought. There's another space I'm looking at, and it's helping them with the controlled substances, blah, blah, blah. Is this something you'd be interested in purchasing help with?
Okay.
So don't lead the witness is what I'm kind of trying to say.
Okay.
Makes sense?
So it's a little too specific, you think?
No, I like specific. I just want to make sure what you're saying is I want to make sure either B2B, B2C, somebody's going to take out their wallet and say,
Okay.
here, let me pay you. That's all I want to make sure. So I like the specific, but get in there and make sure that they're like, yeah, I that keeps me up at night. I'm tossing and turning. I pay anything for help with this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And is that something that your program, like I know it's, you know, more business corporate and I'm healthcare, but,
not necessarily. I mean, you know, we call it the Corporate to Six Figure Coach Academy because my background, I'm coming from the corporate world. So a lot of the clients coming to me typically have see, here's the hold up with clients that are typically coming to me, right? I have clients coming to me that are saying, Betty, I have a 6-figure income. And a lot of clients, including this was me, they say, I'm the breadwinner and I have this dream of becoming a coach, but I need to be sure if I create this coaching business that it can actually replace the 6 figures I was earning in my 9-to-5. So it's more about that. The program isn't talking about corporate. The program is talking. I mean, the urgent problem my people have is, Betty, I'm making 6 figures in my other role. How am I going to replace that with a coaching business? That's what it's about.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Awesome.
Any other questions, Casey?
No, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. And hopefully if you haven't already, schedule a discovery session and we can chat more with you about the program itself and any questions you have. And then we can send you the juicy tool on, if you book a discovery call today, we will send you a tool on how to turn ideal client avatars surveys into clients. We'll send you that for free, no matter what, if you book your discovery call today.
I'm booked for tomorrow, so I'm ready. Thank you.
Okay, you getting it then. Cool. All right. I hope I didn't miss anyone. I'm just going through the chat here. If I missed anyone, Betsy says, remind me, is tomorrow's session more like today? Not at all. That's a good question, Betsy. No, tomorrow's session, before I get off here, I'm going to end it now. And by the way, if I missed, my God, I tried really hard not to miss anybody's questions. If I missed anyone's questions, literally just post it in the Facebook group, DM me, email me, DM your concierge. I promise I'll have all your questions answered by the end of the boot camp. So reminder, tomorrow's session is one of the most powerful sessions. It's not a Q&A. It's how to master the mindset to transition from your 9-to-5 into coaching. And I highly, highly encourage you, Betsy, and everybody to attend this because I've been told that this is the most powerful and favorite session of the entire boot camp. I was actually shocked because I was like, oh, this is the mindset stuff. But actually, it's really important. So we're going to talk about tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, how to get over the fear of making the transition from corporate to coach or from your 9-to-5 to coach, because that's where everybody's freaked out. We're going to talk about how to get over the fear. We're going to talk about how to strengthen your mindset and your resolve so you can make this transition. It's one of the most powerful sessions I do. If you're feeling a little bit of fear around building your coaching business, this session is for you. So make sure that you do attend that tomorrow. Last but not least, the reminder, because you guys know, I got to bring it up 20 to 30 times, right? Market validation, got to repeat the same thing to make sure I'm pounding it into your brain, the fast acting bonus bundle. You guys have 2 days left. 2 days left. You have to book your discovery call by Sunday. And once you have your call, join the program by Sunday to be able to receive this. Betsy's going to get all this. Woo! The bootcamp bonus bundle, $1,000 to $2,000 off. Only the first 5, and this goes every time. And then I feel bad. We always get DMs of people saying, "Oh, did your first 5 bonuses go?" And then we just ethically we cannot. It has to only be for the first 5 people. Otherwise, I would feel bad, saying it was first 5. So please get your call booked if you want to be in the running for the first 5 people. Again, the discovery session is just a meet and greet. It's for you to ask us questions. It's for us to ask you questions and for both of us to learn about each other. If you get this bonus, so Betsy is getting this, a 60-minute deep dive strategy session with me. She scheduled it next week, she said, for Wednesday. So we're going to get into Betsy's business. Betsy, I'm going to be sending you probably Monday or Tuesday an introductory form to fill out so I can take a look at where you're currently at with your business. And then I'm going to come prepared. We're going to build a comprehensive strategy on where I want you to focus first, valued at $1,500. And then you're going to have a private 60-minute deep dive session with our social selling expert. This is the heartbeat of the business. This is where I will tell you guys, almost every coach I talk to who can't figure out why they're not getting clients, besides the problem being the niche, is the outreach. They don't get it. And it's not your fault, because nobody teaches us this unless you raise your hand to learn it, right? Which is what I teach in the academy. You have to raise your hand and say, I got to learn this stuff. So the value of having a social selling expert hold your hand and say, look, here's the script. Here's how to outreach to your prospects who are cold leads. And here's how to customize your outreach. I mean, I don't even think 600 does this justice. I mean, this is the heartbeat of your business. That only goes to the first 5 people who join. Bonus 3 is social media profile audit. Bonus 4, 30-day Voxer access, but only if you pay in full will you get a half-a-day live cash injection workshop with me, yours truly. And again, if Tabitha and Betsy, I love you. She says, every other company focuses on just 1 or 2 of all the things Betty covers. Betsy, you're going to become my advocate here. You're the best. Tabitha and Heather, I'm about to get off here. If you guys wouldn't mind just throwing in one more time the link for people to book the call before I head out, and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And I am very excited to see you tomorrow, Sunday, same time, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. It is the big one, mastering your mindset for your transition. It's the one that matters. So be there, my friends. And if I haven't answered your question, reach out and we'll make sure we get that answered by Sunday. Have a great Saturday. Let's go enjoy the day. Bye, y'all.